The Modern Age in Europe, Part C, that is Industrial Revolution, Chapter 13. In this chapter, according to the revised syllabus, we need to cover up meaning of Industrial Revolution, Socialism and Capitalism. The modern period saw a major shift in the economy of Europe. So we have learned already in the previous chapters, there were some scientific inventions which led people to unknown lands, that is new trade routes or voyages, which in turn augmented trade to a huge extent. Now the economy of Europe since ancient times till the time of mid of 18th century was primarily based on an agrarian and handicraft economy. Agrarian, that is agriculture. Now agriculture was the main occupation and every household depended on land for food and other products. Villages were self-sufficient with all kinds of artisans and skilled people living in the community, serving each other and providing the basic needs. The artisans used simple tools to make goods for the villagers in their own homes with the help of some family members. This particular system which was going on in the society is what known to be the domestic system of production of goods. This was the domestic system of production of goods. Now the discoveries of the new lands suddenly gave a rise in overseas trade that in turn increased the demands for consumer and luxury goods. So if there is more trade upon overseas trade, then naturally demand rises up. Now it was no longer possible to supply such huge demands through domestic system, because domestic system was a slow process, was limited to some extent, since it was all just within the family members. So the manpower was less, then time was more consuming in the system and all. So they could not reach to the huge or high demands with the overseas trade. So since it was not anymore possible to supply such huge demands through domestic system of production, as I said, which was slow and insufficient, therefore the process needed to be quickened. So the merchants supplied the raw materials to the artisans and sold the finished products. Artisans were involved only in production of the products, and this system was something called as putting out system. So they were streamlined, we can say. Now in the 18th century, this rise in demand for consumer goods from the foreign side, from the foreign countries, along with the scientific developments, ushered in a transition. It brought a change in the economy of Europe and consequently the world economy in modern age. Now the agrarian industry gave a path or paved a way to the machine driven industry. The transformation in the industry brought many changes, starting from the technique of manufacturing, organization of production, as well as distribution. So this fundamental transformation in the industry, this transformation from say handmade to machine made, say small scale to large scale, okay, this transformation hugely affected the economic and social life of the people. And finally, this brought in a revolution in every aspect of life, and this revolution was termed as the Industrial Revolution. This was unconventional as it was not accompanied by bloodshed, so no war, no battles, but it was a revolution. So loss of life and property was not there. Rather, it was a very peaceful and a gradual transformation. So Industrial Revolution can be defined as a series of changes that brought about a transition from hand production to production by machines, small scale to large scale production, and handmade to machine made goods. This is all about meaning of Industrial Revolution. Now The Industrial Revolution, which initially began in England, continuously started progressing in different other phases, and it also spreaded to like Germany and France, countries, neighboring countries of France and Germany, and quickly it had swept the nations. It had swept the nations very quick and showed quite rapid advancements and developments. It also spread to Asia, especially in Japan and America. Germany became one of the leading industrial nations in Europe, leaving England far behind by the 19th century. And this was something surprising. USA made huge progress in iron and steel industry, taking the lead as an industrialized nation in the world. Not only this, Russia too followed after the Russian Revolution in 1917, and in Asia, Japan became the leading industrialized nation. While all this happened, there was something coming up as capitalism and socialism. So this revolution gave rise to capitalism and socialism. To begin with, we have socialism. So what do we understand by socialism? Now, while this industrial revolution was on, there were too many establishments, like establishing mills and factories and industries, and this establishment had seen an upward trend and mechanized the mass production of goods. That is, everything was now very well mechanical in nature. It was mechanized and there was mass production of goods. Now, the capitalist factory owners earned a lot of money from the mass production. So the factory owners now started earning a lot because there was mass production, so mass sale, and profit was even at the same time much more. The workers, on the other hand, earned daily wages based on their skill and ability. They lived in extreme poverty and were often exploited. Now, this exploitation was by whom? By naturally the owners. This created a gap between the owners of the factory or industry or mill, whatever we say, and the workers, and created an economic and social inequality between the owners and the workers. So at this time, only the rich could vote, which made a mere total of 3% of Britain. That means they were just a mere number. Whereas the landowners held social and political power, where in the agricultural society, in agrarian society, the landowners had much more power, both socially and politically, rather than in the industrialized society. But in industrialized society, these owners, mill owners and factory owners, they became the leaders of the nation. So they started exerting their influence on the government. Now, government policies were made to suit the interest of these owners. Okay, so the government now, since these owners were influencing the government, so government now made some changes, brought in the government started fulfilling the interest of the owners, mill owners and the factory owners and all. So to bridge this gap, the concept of socialism took birth during this particular time. This was a very important consequence of the Industrial Revolution. There's a famous person called Adam Smith, the economist, a well-known economist. He had propounded his theory on the mill owners and workers and the contribution of the wealth by them in his book, that is Capitalist Workers, Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations. This is the book that he had mentioned, where he had mentioned about this. So according to Adam Smith, the contribution of wealth for the common good, for the common betterment, for the common development or common interest by the owners did not come in the way of their self-interest. That is, they did not do this of their own interest to create wealth. Moreover, this was not advocated and he he did not advocate the interference of the state. Like he said, like the government interfering into these matters of the owners and all was not actually, boosted up. So what do we conclude with? Like, what is socialism? What is the meaning of socialism? So we can conclude the meaning or definition as it is an economic system in which it is an economic system in which the means of production are owned not by private individuals but by the community, in order that all may share more fairly in the wealth that is produced. And this socialism is based on three different principles. It is opposed to private capitalism, it is the voice of all workers and the working class, and it demands for a just distribution of wealth, just distribution or uniform distribution of wealth, where the distribution can be justified. So this is what we call as socialism. Now we have something as capitalism. So what is this capitalism? Now capitalism, this capital came to be defined as the money that what money that is invested. So we say like the capital invested for so and so was this much. So what is that invested? Capital means what is invested? That is the wealth, the money, in terms of money, which is invested for producing different articles in a factory. Now in a factory, while a factory is being established, there are different articles to be for where the investment needs to be done. So investment in terms of the machines, investment in terms of the area, the land, or the infrastructure. So whether for buying machine or the raw material, and also at the same time investment for selling the goods that the factory will be producing. You see, now the factory is established, the goods are produced. Now what do you expect? Do you expect your customers to come down to the factory and take it away? No. So the goods need to be traded, they need to be made available in the market. So the goods which are to be taken to the market, they again need some investment. So investment is starting from establishment, from acquiring of the land till the finished goods to be made available in the market. So capital was always owned by the private person or groups. Capital, that is the wealth. Wealth was always owned by private people or in groups. And eventually it also included the land rent. Okay, so the land, if it is not your own land, then the rent which has to be paid, that also was to be taken care with this capital. Wages of the workers, all the people, those who are there in helping out in the factory, they need to be paid with wages. So the wages is to be also given out of this capital. Now interest earned on the money which is invested, and many inventors started applying for patents and started earning royalty. So what is this patent and royalty? That is a trademark, what we call, on the usage of their inventions. So thus all in all, this started creating a good income. They started getting a good income. So capitalism can be defined as an economic system in which trade and business are controlled by private owners for earning profit. So it's a economic system where trade and business is controlled by private owners for earning profit. These private owners were called capitalists. They are called the capitalists. The Industrial Revolution gave numerous opportunities to the capitalists to own greater wealth and power. It was really quite a good time where they could gain a huge amount of wealth along with power. The factory owners gradually became very rich, and they started owning large amount of capital in the market, which was again a means of production to earn more money. Now these capitalists further invested this particular money to expand their business. And how did they do this? They expanded by buying machinery, implements, tools, and the raw materials. So the definition could also be again mentioned as, it is the money which is invested for producing different articles in a factory, for buying machinery and raw material, and for selling finished goods in the market. And the means of production here, such as labor, raw material, tools and machines, are all owned and controlled by private individuals or groups of them. So, industrial revolution, socialism and capitalism, meaning of all these three. This is what according to your syllabus. Thank you.